And actually, there's something in uh, the word bank insights that you got from word bank that really stood out to me was that the earliest words of kids were not really basic needs words. They're like, people's names and these more like socially focused words. I thought that was such a cool finding. Is that what you thought going into it, or was that something surprising?
I sort of hesitate to admit it, but I didn't have a good sense. I knew my kids' first words, but I didn't have a good sense of what first words would look like at scale, and especially not across cultures. And then I found this beautiful work that actually my collaborator Virginia Marchman was involved in, a CDI uh, board and team member. But this was led by Twyla Tardif, where she looked at first words across a couple of different cultures in East Asia and the US and found that they were similar. And we extended that by looking at first words across all of the different samples that we had, um, and found, yeah, that they were remarkably similar, that they're words for games and routines. I mean, that's the category, but it's things like uh-oh or hi, or, bye. What's the bath sometimes makes it on the list. Then no, which is a remarkably abstract word to be a first word. And then, yeah, names of people, dogs and small animals and ball, and these sorts of things also make it on the list. And yeah, I think you're exactly right. When you think about what are those words, there's like stuff that's fun to share with people, not feed me, change my diaper, right? The
Yeah.
basic needs, they're not far behind, but for almost no kids, is that the first word? It's much, much more frequent that it's something they want to share and want to use language to communicate about. And then the basic needs usually get taken care of as part and parcel of being a baby.
Yeah, that's so interesting. One thing that we talk a lot about SLPs is communication functions. And it's something that we use as a strategy for helping kids learn language and helping parents understand how to engineer situations to make language happen. And one thing that I've noticed a lot is, and this is especially in autism, is that it's really hard to create the need for those, socially, those words just about showing something because there's more of like this intrinsic motivation to socialize. And, the other ones like requesting and rejecting and things like that are a bit easier to engineer. Like, you could set up a situation where they want a snack and they want a snack, but you have it all, and then they have to request before you give it to them. But those ones where it's like the going back to the Tomasello stuff, where it's like the child holds up an object, like ostension. It's just like, hey, look at this. This is cool. It's really hard to to engineer those situations. Yeah, so just kind of an interesting thought in speech therapy work that we tend to have to go towards the requesting and the basic wants and needs stuff as first words for kids who don't naturally want to share, if that makes sense.